everyone. So it's time for another live lesson. This is exciting. Anyway, if it's your first time seeing one of my videos, this is me. I decided not to show my face today, but give you guys a beautiful photo. My name is Niala Phillip, and I am a social media and brand strategist. And I teach entrepreneurs how to tap into their story, use their God-given gifts to get seen, get heard, and get paid using social media. All right. So today we're going to be talking about Instagram, my favorite platform. So any of you who know my story or know how, I became this great social media coach is all from Instagram. All right. So I was in network marketing for years, jumping from company to company, not really making it in any company until I stumbled upon It Works. Not too long ago, about a few years ago, I stumbled upon It Works, and I was able to grow very quickly in the company using Instagram. And that is where the love for Instagram was born. So what I've done is I've grown 3 different brands on Instagram organically from scratch. And all the strategies that I teach is strategies that I have used myself and that I share and teach my clients. Okay. So this is not anything from a textbook. Everything that I teach is from experience. And I'm really, really excited to share this one with you today. Okay. So our topic is how to optimize your Instagram posts, how to optimize your posts. So when you think of optimization, you think of how are you going to get seen? How are you going to get yourself in front of your customers so the right people are looking at your stuff? How are you going to optimize your posts for the most reach so we can reach the most people, right? Okay, so let's start with number 1. All right. So number 1 is to utilize the location function. All right. So with the location function, when you are posted on Instagram, I think there's 3 different places where you can add something else, like either attach your post to your Facebook page, or you can tag people to your post or post it on Twitter, or you can add your location. So right under where you write your caption, the first option is add location. When you click add location, your different things in different places in your area, different landmarks in your area is going to come up, and you'll be able to click which one and have it. So if this is like perfect for my people who have storefront brick and mortar businesses like salons and nail salons and coffee shops, local offices. Depending on where you are obviously looking to get more local business in. Yes, you want to expand your reach online, but you really want more local people in to spread the word. Foot traffic, right? Foot traffic, which is free advertising, right? So adding a location to your post will be especially important for you guys, right? Because that is how people are going to know where you're located. You can start building a nice little feed around your establishment on Instagram. Okay. All right, let's move on. Second thing is choosing the right image. So when I think of image when you think of Instagram, the first thing you're going to think about is Instagram is a very visual platform. Instagram is a place for you to really, really show your creativity via photos. Yes, they have videos now, but photos is how it started, okay? Making sure that you put out the right photos. When you think of great photos, you want it to be clear and crisp. Not all the times you can get the perfect photo, but there are certain apps that you can use to edit it up a little bit and get it looking a little better before you put it out. Also, if you are creating graphics, choosing branded colors, making sure it pops, making sure it speaks to your personality. So for example, if you're somebody that likes to be on the beach, then I'm probably going to see a lot of beach photos, a lot of blues, a lot of sands and browns into your photo. So that way it can also speak to your personality. You also want to use the photo that is correct for what you're teaching or what you're sharing. So for instance, if you're a real estate agent and you are trying to share some homes that's available in your area, you're going to want to get the right angle angles. You're going to want to make that home look the best, right? Because these photos is your audience first point of contact. So when they see these photos, that's what's making them decide if they want to call you, if they're interested in coming to the property and doing a walkthrough. You get what I'm saying? So that photo that you put out becomes very, very important. So you guys have to pay attention to the photos that you're putting out that's representing what you're trying to share with your audience. Okay. All right, let's move on. The next one is your caption. All right. So I'm seeing a lot of one words, a lot of one sentences, a lot of no well thought out captions. The captions is when you are able to have a conversation with your audience. The captions is where you're able to do the most engagement, right? So if someone sees the photo and boom, they're in and they're like, I love this photo, and now they're going to read the caption, you want to bring them in even further, right? And then give them a direction, right? So with the caption, you guys got to give it a little bit more thought. Give it a little bit more thought. Describe what the photo is about. Describe what you're trying to actually say. Get your audience to take the action that you want them to take. So for example, let's just say I am having a webinar and I put out a photo of maybe my workspace, and maybe in the middle of my laptop, there's a sheet of paper, and on that paper, I have the title of my webinar. So maybe that's the photo that I put out. But in my caption, I'm not just going to want to say, click in my bio to meet me for a free webinar. Well, no, I'm going to want to make sure they know why they should click, what they're going to get out of it, maybe a couple of surprises. I want to talk to them like they're sitting on my living room couch. Like, here's what you're going to learn. You know, you really don't want to miss this. If you're really trying to take, you know, your Instagram to the next level, you're going to have to meet me on this webinar, you know, and I'm going to talk to them like they're my friend. And that is what you want to do. Your caption matters. What you say in your caption makes or breaks if they're going to take the next action, right? Which is clicking the link in your bio and maybe getting on your list, or maybe joining your webinar, or maybe joining your Facebook group, or even maybe scheduling a free consultation. All right. So get more descriptive in your captions and build that connection with your audience. Okay. Let's move on. The next one is hashtags. So this is very, very important. And if you guys are paying attention, I am talking about the anatomy of an Instagram post. So if you look at one Instagram post, we are basically looking at the anatomy of the whole post, from the beginning when we do the location to the actual photo to the caption, and now what goes under the caption, which is your hashtags. Okay. Now, hashtags are the new SEO. Search engine optimization. That's what that stands for. When you think of SEO, if anyone has been working online for a while, or even if you're new, I'm going to give you a quick little explanation of what SEO is. SEO is basically where you rank on Google, how you are found. So if somebody is searching a particular topic and that's your topic, and you're using those keywords and those languages in your different blog posts or pictures or anything that your files that you're putting out online, Google is able to connect to that and bring you into that search pile when that person is searching on that particular topic. So the more you use your keywords, the more you put it out online, the more you spend online, the more content you put out, is the higher you would rank in Google once you are doing your SEO right? And just the most basic way that I can share this with you is keywords. So using the keywords that's in your niche. So if, for instance, myself, I'm a brand strategist. So if I use a lot of keywords like branding or brand, 3 ways to grow your brand on Instagram, or brand this, brand that, if brand is all over my website and I'm writing all these different blog posts on branding, then most definitely I will come up in those searches when someone is on the topic of branding. Now, who comes first, who comes second, and who comes third, that's in how aggressive you are in your marketing, and that's in how long you've been online. And a lot of things come into play when you talk about what number you would rank on, but you would definitely rank, okay? And the hashtag is basically the new SEO for Instagram. So Hashtags is how people find you. Hashtags is how people find you. All right. So let's say you are a caterer, okay, and somebody's having an event and they're looking for a caterer in Tennessee. Let's say they live in Tennessee. Then most likely they're going to go on Instagram and they're going to search hashtag Tennessee caterers. If you are not using hashtag Tennessee caterers, guess what? You will not show up on that feed. So you will not show up in front of your ideal client, and you need to be in front of your ideal client, right? Right? That's the idea, getting seen by your clients, right? Okay, so we have to use hashtags that our ideal client would be searching for. A lot of times, the first instinct, and this is one big mistake that people make with hashtags on Instagram, is that the first instinct is, well, I'm a caterer, so I'm just going to use hashtag caterer. You know, and hashtag caterer is saturated. I can do a search right now, and I'm pretty sure there's millions of photos that's hashtag caterer. And hashtag caterer would not necessarily bring you in front of people that's looking for caterers in your area. Hashtag caterer will just put you in a flood of caterers all over the world. And yes, that's beautiful. We want people to see our food and all of that. That's beautiful. But we are really in business because we want to convert these people into clients. So we want to show up where our clients would be. So just think of, if my client is having a particular problem, what types of hashtags would they search so they can solve their problem? And whatever you come up with, those are the hashtags that you want to use. All right. Yes, you want to put in some generic hashtags, one or two. Yes, you want to put in some industry specific hashtags. So, you know, again, if you're a caterer, hashtag caterer would be industry specific. But me just being into branding, I would want you to get a little bit even more specific. So for instance, let's say you're West Indian and you're a caterer, but you specialize more in West Indian food or a certain ethnicity, then I would want you to go a little bit deeper with that. Okay. But yeah, hashtags, new SEO. You guys have to use the hashtags that your client is searching for. Okay. And last but not least, we're going to talk about timing. Timing is everything. So this has nothing to do with the anatomy of a post, but what this is this is like my bonus tip for you, okay? When you are online, no matter what platform you're on, it is your job to analyze what's happening. I put this out in my Facebook group not too long ago, and what I said is, when it comes to winning on marketing, you want to have the right message, you want to be putting it in front of the right people, and you want to be putting it in front of them at the right time. And the only way you're going to know how to do that is by paying attention to what your audience do. So if your audience opens a certain type of email, pay attention to that. If your audience gives you the most engagement at a certain time on Instagram, that's the time you want to be posting. The days that they're on the most, those are the days that you want to be there. You want to show up in front of them all the time. And how would you know that if you are not analyzing what you do? So this is the most important tip that I can give you throughout this lesson right now. And that is, timing is everything. So as you take the tips that I gave you today to start putting together an awesome post that's really going to reach and put you in front of the client that you want to be put in front of, remember that timing is everything. Be consistent. Do this for about 30 days straight and take a look at your numbers. Take a look at the trends. Take a look at what your people are doing so you can set a better plan in motion for success. Okay. All right. So I hope you guys loved this. If you did, I hope that you gave me hearts. I hope that you gave me likes. Those who are on the replay, give me more hearts and give me more likes, and make sure that you share this out. So if you have people that you know will benefit from this information, if you know someone that, listen, they need to grow on Instagram and they need some help now, share this out, okay? Share this out. Thank you so much, and I will see you guys on my next video. Bye.